Yo, 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 yo. We back again. Pulling my handicap card. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Deandra.
And today we're going to talk about...
I just say it. We're going to talk about vocational rehabilitation services.
Yes, that's exactly what we're going to talk about. I forgot that quick. That's
did
shame.
you?
Yeah.
What's in that cup, B. Thomas?
It's not strong enough. It's not
Okay.
giving me enough energy. Anyway, so I want to tell y'all about my experience with vocational rehab. And this is just my experience. I'm not saying that anybody else experienced vocational rehab this way. And I'm not even down in vocational rehab. I'm just telling you guys what I experienced and what I feel like the next person is experiencing with vocational rehab. So vocational rehab came to me when probably like the second year I was out of high school. So this had to be about 2010. And I was really excited because they were paying decent money. I was still on my mom's insurance, so I didn't have to have their insurance, which was crazy expensive. And I was just excited. So I decided not to go to college, which that's my fault. But I decided not to go to college because I had a career. I was thinking like, this can be a career. And wrong. So I went through the process, and they put me at a movie theater initially. But they were just waiting on the opening to come on the military base so they can move me out, on the military base. So I was at the movie theater for about, I wouldn't even say a year. And, movie theaters have slow seasons.
Bless you, babe.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Movie theaters have slow seasons. So when the slow season came up, it was like, well, we'll work you a couple hours a day. A couple hours a week. So I think at this time, I went from getting like 25 hours a week to getting like 10.
Oh.
So I'm a grown man. I have an apartment. I have a house. I have a car. I have an apartment. I have a car. So I have insurance. And I'm just, trying to live as an average, 19, 20-year-old. And I think at this time I was getting Social Security too. I think I was getting like the 1,200 or somewhere around that figure. I can't remember exactly. So all in all, I was probably bringing about $1,500 a month. So, yeah. And then, a little time goes by and they're ready to ship me out to the Arsenal. And at this time, we had, like, the day I was supposed to start, we had horrible storms. And you remember when the storms came through?
Wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was 20 what?
11.
Yeah, it was 2011. See, yeah, right on track. So, when I was about to start there, the storms came through. That pushed me back, man, I think 3 or 4 weeks. So I get on the Arsenal. They show me what I'm be doing. So I'm doing something called badge checking. So essentially, I'm sitting at a desk, and I'm just watching people come through and show their badge. Watching come through, showing their badge. And, all day, that's all I'm doing. No computer, no nothing. So I'm eating good, getting fat, lazy as ever, because, I'm just sitting over in this corner watching people, throw their badge up. And that goes good for maybe about a half of a year. And then they're like, oh, well, you're doing good over here, so we're going to move you around. So they moved me to a place where I actually needed a security clearance. So they helped me apply for the security. Well, my mom helped me apply for the security clearance because they didn't help. My mom helped me apply for the security clearance. I get the security clearance in about 6 months to a year. So they moved me to another building that actually had a computer. Oh, I was so excited. I'm finna get a computer because, it's boring. So I'm finna get a computer. I get over there and they're like, well, yep, here's your desk. I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm thinking, you're going to give me a desk. Like, I'm going to be able to use my brain all day. I got a computer. Y'all going to want me to do some stuff. It ain't wrong. So I end up sitting at the desk all day and just watching YouTube. And, no, I feel like a normal person wouldn't complain about this job until they done watched everything on YouTube. And that's why I was just like, this ain't it. This ain't it. So I would talk to my supervisor about hold on, let me backtrack in the story. So when I was at Phoenix, after I left Monaco because there were no hours or whatever, they hired me for one day. Damn, I said Phoenix.
It is what it is.
You think so?
Yeah, it is what it is.
So after I left there, they hired me for one day to sit at their main building to do like data, like in process data. So I'm sitting there in processing data one day for 3 hours, and then I'm like, so what's the holdup? Like, why y'all not get me on Arsenal? My clearances came back. Like, why y'all not get? Well, dang, I done said everything. Why y'all not getting me on Arsenal on the military base? So, they're like, well, you need to talk to the project manager. So I'm gonna talk to the project manager. So I see him come through. I'm like, hey, yo, come here, let me holler at you. And he's like, I just don't think you're ready. And I was like, okay, so what am I doing to present to you that I'm not ready? And he was like, well, I don't want to put you in nothing that you'll fail in. What am I doing to show you that, it's something that I'll fail in? And he was like, well, I just don't think you're ready. I was like, all right, cool. So I cussed everybody out when I went home. Then when it was my turn to come to work the next week for my 3 hours, I came back and I was just like, so I'm here. I'm here, whatever. I'm gonna hold on. Y'all excuse me for last week. That wasn't me. I was just aggravated. Cool. So my mom had worked out there at the time. Well, she still works out there, but she was working out there, and she seen the supervisor, and she was like, yo, that's my son, and help him out. So about 2 weeks later, they're ready for me after my mom had talked to this man. And yeah, so moving back forward, dang, I forgot where I left off.
I think you had just got to the Arsenal with the desk and the computer, but still bored to death.
Still bored to death. So I was asking my supervisor, I'm saying, hey, give me some work to do. And he's like, yo, this your work. This all we got, this all we got for you. And I'm just thinking like, okay, cool. But let me go to YouTube, entertain myself, show myself like, all right, we finna build your future. So I started getting really heavy into like researching about stocks and bonds and, money. So I'm asking them, I'm like, hey, nobody told me about the 401k plan. So let me go ahead and sign up for that. And they like, yo, we ain't got 401k plan. We ain't got that, And I'm just thinking like, you're vocational rehab. You're here to help individuals with disabilities for their future. What you mean you don't have no plan? And then it was like, all right, well, we ain't got no plan, or we really ain't got no insurance either. Like, we got the worst insurance, and not only do we have the worst insurance, it's expensive. So it's just like, well, what's the purpose of what's y'all purpose? Like, who are you helping? How are you helping anybody for their future if you don't have insurance for them, first of all, because they're disabled? 9 times out of 10, the people that worked for Phoenix were disabled. So what? I couldn't understand that. And then the 401k thing, I just thought that was a given. Like, if y'all help me for my future, you mean to tell me if I don't just know to put up money by myself, then I'm just not going to get nowhere. I just didn't understand that. So, a couple more years go by. I think I ended up with with these people for about 10 years. No, I was at 7. I had just got my certificate for being with them for 7 years. And I was just like, this is enough is enough. Like, I'm going to use my clearance and I'm going to apply for something else to get myself out of this situation. So I start interviewing. Of course, I'm getting no, 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 no. And I'm interviewing for other jobs, the same job with just different titles. Um, and I was getting no's because I'm pretty sure it was because I was disabled. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's telling me to go ahead and check out vocational rehab, because I'm not telling them exactly that's who I work for. I'm using the other name. And they're like, no, go ahead and check out vocational rehab. They'll be great for you. So in my head, I'm thinking like they not gonna be great for me, but you telling me to go ahead and check out vocational rehab is you discriminating. You know what I'm saying? So finally I make it out and I go to another company, and the other company, right around the time where I was transitioning to the other company, which was not a vocational rehab or whatever, they were getting bought out by another company, and they came in and they dropped the pay like $4. So here I go thinking, okay, I'm finna come up, and yeah, I got shot right back down because I was making the same thing. I'm like, all right, well, cool. So I did that for a little while, and I quit that job because I was going in as a security role, and he was like, well, the supervisor there was like, yeah, we're gonna put you in the security role eventually, but right now we need data entry. So let's put you in the data entry role first, and you just tell me when you're ready to go into security. So I did the data entry for maybe 3 weeks, and I'm like, yo, I don't like sitting still. This is where I just came from, and this is why I was trying to leave. I'm sitting here, my eyes getting bad, staring at this computer, watching YouTube all day. Like, I don't want to do this. So put me in a security one, put me in a security role, and I'll be happy at that. So he was like, no. I was like, all right, cool. So that led me to start looking for another job. And I ended up going back to where I had just came from because you lied to me. You blatantly lied to me just to get me over here. You know what I'm saying? Because you had no intentions on putting me in that role. And when I gave him my notice, he was like, oh man, I was just about to put you in that role. How convenient, but I'm still out of here. So I ended up going back to the other company because whatever. So I get up back over to the other company, and I just really just sat down with myself one day, and I was just like, yo, this is a slave ship over here. Ship over here. Like, there ain't no way that this is doing good for anybody. Like, I can't speak for anybody, but it wasn't doing no good for me. Me sitting around doing nothing all day is a disaster. Like, I don't have any motivation to level up, or I don't have any motivation. I just come here. I'm going to be late 50% of the time because I have no motivation to come to this job. My motivation was to talk to my supervisor because that's my dog. Like, we talk every day now. You know what I'm saying? Like, the project manager. So that was my motivation to come to work. And I was just like, you know what? I quit again. So I quit. I go to another company, and I even kind of took a little pay cut because I went to a seasonal company to make more money. It almost doubled my salary to go to the seasonal company, and I was treated a lot better over there. I can't really say that the company itself had any discrimination, or I witnessed any of that with the company. They were really cool. They just couldn't employ me throughout the whole year. So I say all that to say vocational rehab is a joke. I really think vocational rehab is a joke, and if it works for you, then that's fine. But for me, it didn't work. It didn't work. I feel like if I would have kept going out of high school, not necessarily saying going to college, but if it was more doors open for me or if I would have known better, I would have never wasted my time. I feel like I didn't learn anything from vocational rehab. I didn't get any trades. I didn't get any, like, nothing came from vocational rehab besides my security clearance. So I would suggest people, if you're gonna do it like a vocational rehab, especially here, I would do it. Get the clearance and get the hell on out, because that's the only thing that came from it. We didn't have any like parties or engagements with the other coworkers. It was strictly like a slave ship. It was like, y'all come here, y'all do your job, and y'all go home, and which that's fine. But there was no morale for the team. There was no like team building. It was like, no, we here, you a number, and that's that. Like, we gonna capitalize. The company, they started buying trucks, and they were like really building onto their team. And they were really eating off of, to me, they were eating off the fact that they were employing people with disabilities, and it was just like, that ain't cool. That ain't cool. So that's my little story about vocational rehab. If I could give anybody an advice that is kind of in the middle, like college or another career or whatever, do something else.
Yeah, and I mean, you really took reign of your career and kind of fostered that for yourself, because I understand that they gave you that security clearance, but from there, you've been gone from that company for several years now, and you put yourself in position to be able to obtain, well, I don't know if I can say that, but you got another level of clearance, a higher level clearance now.
Right.
Um, and that, from what you've shared with me, that was never even discussed or option that vocational rehab offered to you. You kind of figured that out on your own. And then even outside of that, another topic for another day, but I really think that situation kind of pushed you into entrepreneurship, because vocational rehab is supposed to be this service that's here to help you develop yourself and find a career, those type of things. And when it was evident to you that, like, yeah, nah, this ain't getting me nowhere, it was up to you to figure out a means of living for yourself, which for you was starting businesses, and then, like you said, going out looking for other jobs, getting employed, and then figuring out how to climb the ladder yourself and get a high level of clearance to be able to bring home a greater salary and then really just have a career.
Yeah, yeah. And I still think it's hard to have a career like what I'm doing now. It's still hard to have a career. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's still not an option for like a good insurance. Like, I feel like the disabled community, especially if you're gonna exclude me and I only can work in certain fields, then there should be at least some insurance given. Like, if I am born with a disability, not something that happened, I got in a car wreck, or no shade to those people, but
Mm-hmm.
if I am born with a disability, I should at the very least, get lifetime supply of insurance. If you're not gonna let me be in those fields where I can work for my insurance or work for good insurance,
Mm-hmm.
because it's so expensive, um, give it to me. Give it to me. And I ain't even no person to ask for handouts. You know what I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
don't want no handout, but I mean, at least do me that justice of just giving me insurance. Because if you give me insurance, then I can't work. And, I have to get on like Social Security or something. But I just don't think that's fair. I don't think that's right. I don't think that's fair. I think we should be able to at least have that. If you're not going to allow me into the military, or you're not going to allow me into somebody that's paying and having good insurance, then give me the insurance.
Right, especially when they know you need it. You're going to use it. You need it to be able to get through everyday life. There are just certain things that you need that uses your insurance. So like you said, like, if you're not going to, cuz I mean, okay, yeah, they have the argument of, oh, you can get a job, but a lot of these companies, they may check the box of having a certain percentage of disabled people within their company, but a lot of times that's with them having the bottom of the barrel job and no opportunity to advance or grow to make the salary to be able to pay for insurance and still have a decent salary to support their family. You know what I mean? Because I know
Right.
you talked a lot about within the vocational rehab program you were going through, there was essentially no opportunity for growth. I think you said there was like a supervisor and a program manager or something like
A
that.
project manager and a supervisor.
That's it. And so there was no path of growth for you guys. So it was kind of like, you know, take it or leave it. Like, it was like, hey, this your salary, this what we giving, this what you gonna do, and you know, you need to be content and happy with that. Whereas you're saying, like, okay, that's cool, I appreciate it, but you know, you want to use your brain, you want to feel like you are contributing to society, you know, doing something other just sitting here to say I'm sitting here. And I mean, really, it's wasting talent. Like you said, you are intelligent. I'm sure there are tons of people with disabilities who could bring so much to the table if we would just be open to employing people.
And I don't mean to cut you off, but even in those roles of the project manager and the supervisor, I still didn't see my people in those roles.
Right.
So what does that give me to look forward to? Like, I seen a retired army person in one of the top roles, and the other dude, hell, I don't know what he did. I really question how he got the damn job. So what do I have to look forward to as a disabled person? I hate that we are just roped off and sat in the corner. Like, I don't like that. I think that's what really needs to change. There should definitely be more doors opened for a person with a disability, and then we make accommodations in the world for everybody else, every other group, every other religion, everything else in the world. We make accommodations for. Make accommodations in the military, make accommodations on the police force, make accommodations in the classrooms, doctors, make accommodations for us.
Period. I mean, I don't think it's nothing else that needs to be said. Like, it's just time, and we gonna keep pressing the issue. Y'all might get tired of listening, but I hope not. You know, at the end of the day, if we've made you feel uncomfortable, made you rethink some situations that you found yourself in, especially, you know, if you're sitting on the interview panel, or, you know, you're someone that holds some type of power in these situations, if we've made you feel some type of way, we've done our job. Like, you know, at the end of the day, this is going to be a little controversial, and we want you to sit back and think about some stuff. You know what I mean? I can say it's made me think about some things in my role. Like, it's made me up level and realize that there are some things I got to stand my ground and really support this community. And you know, we're challenging you. I think that's kind of what we want to end with today. We are challenging those who have the power to make things happen and make some changes to do that the next time. And I'm not, again, let me just disclaim, I'm not asking for any handouts. I'm not asking you to just give the next disabled person that walks in your interview room the job just because. No, that's not what we're saying. But what we're saying is to make it fair.
Make it fair. Make it fair. Make it work. You know, make it fair. Make it work.
I love it.
All right, y'all. Peace out.
Bye.
Happy Black History Month too.